Hello and welcome to Boomer Podcast. And today we are here to talk about a new topic of discussion. It is about whether Chiteshwar Pujara should be considered a number three for India again. Why are we bringing this discussion up? Because he's having a ball of a time in county championship. He's the second leading run scorer in county championship with 718 runs. He's having a batting average of 143 and a strike rate of 65. I have Sandipani to talk about it. Sandipani, of course, Chiteshwar Pujara has been a pillar for Indian cricket team, right? Indian Test team, especially over the last decade or so. Post Rahul Dravid, you always wanted that solid number three. But in the last 3 years, he's been having a really tough time just to score runs, or either whenever he used to come into bat, he used to, just build a lot of pressure. We don't often talk about pressure in Test cricket, but then his strike rate was not doing any justice.
Yeah.
I think you can better explain about the strike rate, what he was having. I reckon he was having close to 35, 33 around was his strike rate
Yeah.
in Test cricket as well. And now he's just smashing it in the county championship for Sussex, because this year he's been just looking like he wants to go out there, score runs, because after his axing from the Indian team, he just looks like he's more hungry for runs.
Yeah, I think definitely it's high time for Pujara to come to form. I mean, even though it's only for the county cricket, but Sussex is sort of enjoying his relishes. Like he has been scoring, he has scored 717, 18 runs in four
Yeah,
games with two centuries and two double centuries. So basically, a century, at least a century in every of the four games. And
yes,
that too with a strike rate of something around 61, 60, something over 60, I guess.
yeah,
Which has considerably doubled, I think, from 2020. Since 2020 in Test match cricket, Pujara's average has been something around 25, 26 in the
yes.
mid 20s, and his strike rate has been only 33. So
Hmm.
basically, he has been playing 75, 76 balls per innings, but he has been scoring just the 25, 26 runs. There was a lot of hype considering Pujara to be a replacement for Rahul Dravid. But you
Yeah,
have to understand that somebody like a Rahul Dravid, who was sort of who was known as the wall and was the backbone for the Indian cricket, he used to take up a lot of balls, and he used to slowly make his way through the innings. And but then you have to realize that when once he got going, he scored his runs at a brisk pace.
yeah.
His career strike rate is somewhere close to around 50, 51. So Rahul Dravid, by no means you can say that Pujara is a Rahul Dravid, unless you have that average to show for that.
Right,
Just
absolutely. I mean, it's not like we are here to discredit Pujara for his strike rate in Test cricket, and many of you might be just feeling that why are these two guys even talking about strike rate in Test cricket? Just leave the strike rate column alone.
No,
But
basically it builds a lot of pressure, right?
it builds a
It
lot of
basically
pressure. That's
builds a
what I'm
lot,
coming
lot
to.
of pressure. You,
Yes,
if
absolutely.
I am a bowler, if I am bowling three maiden overs to Pujara from one end, the other bowler who is coming into ball to somebody like a Kohli or Rahane at number four or number five, with India having lost 2, 3 wickets early up front and the
Yeah,
score
yeah,
only 50, 60 runs,
yeah,
it takes a lot of pressure on your mind. You will just think that, okay, another session that we have just played out. We are not here
absolutely.
to sort of draw the game, but we are here to win. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
he just got into a sort of a shell early on in his innings, where he just decided to just block the balls away. And eventually, when he somehow started to get out of that shell, he lost his wicket. Something
Absolutely.
which we have not seen in the county form, like in
Yeah,
the county
absolutely.
cricket that he has been playing for
I mean, it
Sussex.
has also got to do with him going out with that intent to score runs.
Yeah,
I just want to bring you that inference from the India England series last year. When he looked to get into that shell, he was getting out cheaply. But when he went out there to score runs, take the attack to the opposition, he was scoring those 90s, 80s. And those knocks is so crucial in those two wins which India had, let it be in Lords or let it be
yeah.
back in London again. Those two wins were the difference in that series as well. And those two big knocks, I would say so. But in this championship, he's followed the same template, just going out there trying to score runs. Though one might say 65 is just a mere strike rate, but then 60, anything above 60 for Pujara is a big one,
Yeah, very
considering
good
what he was
strike rate.
scoring over the last 4 years. Let's look at what Indian team currently has, right? They brought in someone like a Hanuma Vihari into number three. You saw that in the Sri Lankan series. They were looking at a new era post Ajinkya Rahane and Chiteshwar Pujara. He did nothing wrong in those couple of opportunities what he got there. And they also brought in someone like a Shreyas Iyer. Can possibly India blood in Chiteshwar Pujara number three? I still believe Chiteshwar Pujara can be a better number three and Vihar at number five, because Shreyas Iyer, I still have my doubts on him playing in red ball format, because even in white ball format he's getting exposed with his technique. Let it be with the short ball, let it be with the balls, just coming into him. He is struggling, right? He is struggling, big time against quality pacers in the T20 format. But when it goes to red ball cricket, I'm sure if he travels overseas, it's going to be a bigger void for him to cover, especially when it comes to his technical difficulties. Do you reckon Pujara can be brought back to number three and Vihari pushed down to number five? Will Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid consider that just for that solitary test against England, which India has still to play?
I think it will be a very interesting take if Hanuma Vihari comes back down the order at number 5 and Pujara gets that game at number 3. But I think Shreyas Iyer, I think we are just being a bit too critical on Shreyas Iyer. He has
Yeah,
been struggling against the short balls, I'll give you that. But it's been in the shorter format of the game because he has been trying to score runs. He has been trying to get those bounces away for runs. But when you talk about Test cricket, he can just duck. He can just take his time. There is no hurry to score runs. So I think Test cricket is a different ball game altogether, and we have seen that Shreyas Iyer can score runs in like pitches outside of Asian conditions. Like in South Africa, he got one or two of those good innings going. So I think it's too early to sort of give Shreyas Iyer the axe from the team. I
yeah,
think he deserves a lot more place in the team. But speaking about Pujara, if he continues to play like this for the county championship for Sussex, I think it will be very soon when India will consider Pujara again for a call up in England, especially because now he's getting to playing for Sussex. He's getting a lot better hang of the pitches
yeah,
and with balls to actually play and outside that in the channel that he struggles, the fourth and fifth stump channel, where he sort of edges the ball to the keeper or edges it to the slips. I think he'll have a lot more idea as to when to leave the ball and when to just poke at it.
yeah.
So it's good that is getting to play for Sussex, and it's very good if he gets another run. I think we are still talking a bit too early because it's been just 4 games, and even though he has scored 4 centuries, two double centuries in those 4 games, but I still feel it's a bit too early. Let's see if we can.
No, I'm just bringing this particular point up, regardless, even if he had scored just a couple of centuries, even less. You
Yeah,
speak about a country like England, acclimatizing to those conditions are so important. And we've seen often that India are losing the plot somewhere because they did not have enough time to acclimatize. You just look at the FTP these days, right? It's so
yeah.
tough for teams to just go in early to a country and play a couple of warm games. But thankfully, this time around, for Indian team, they're going to be playing a warm up game against Leicestershire before that solitary test against England to complete the series as well. But having said that, Chiteshwar Pujara now having spent almost a couple of months there, and by that time it's going to be June, he's going to be spending almost close to 4 months there. Uh, he'll be knowing the conditions, he'll be having the hang of the condition, because it'll be even easier conditions if you're talking about June, July in England. These are some of the most toughest conditions in England to play cricket upon, because it's going to be very cold at this time of the year in England, and just going more into the summer, the pitches are going to also be worn out. It's going to be easier for batsmen to play. You reckon Pujara will be the best bet there, number three, just considering the acclimatization part?
Yeah, but Abel, I just had a question. I mean, who are your top two openers for Team India for the England game?
I mean, just at this very point, I would say Rahul and Rohit, because
Yeah, Rahul and
Rahul in
Rohit.
the last
So if
series played
Rahul
well.
and Rohit plays and they are fit, I think then Hanuma Vihari will not be able to open the innings, and I don't think
Hanuma
they are going
Vihari
to drop.
can bat number five. My point is this: I don't mind even if we go to draw that particular game. We are leading 2-1 that particular series,
Yeah,
and I don't mind if we play even six batsmen and four bowlers. But I don't like that strategy, to be very honest, because that's something which I don't like Indian team doing. Indian team has had all the success playing five genuine bowlers, and I still think maybe Ashwin more. I wouldn't really give Ashwin a nod ahead. If Jadeja is fit, I will play Jadeja at number seven, Shardul at eight, then the three paces in Shami, Bumrah, and possibly Siraj, or who else? We have Umesh Yadav as well, who can possibly give
yeah,
that
but I think
slot.
Siraj will get the nod ahead of Umesh Yadav. Even
Possibly,
though
yes.
Umesh Yadav has been performing really well for KKR for his franchise, but I think with Rohit Sharma, you never know. But if it would have been under Kohli, I would have been sure that Siraj would have got another go.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what is that team going to be as well. I'm just having a hunch that Rohit Sharma might just go in with that team which played the last Test match against Sri Lanka. Just changing that couple of spinners there and bringing a couple of fast bowlers. But other than that,
Yeah,
I don't see this team management making a lot of changes when it comes to the batting order. But still, Chiteshwar Pujara is someone who I would really love to see in Test cricket,
definitely.
because he's a quality player of spin as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and with this approach, especially because if Chetashwar Pujara is coming in with the intent to score runs, I think it is very difficult to get a batsman out, especially a technically sorted batsman like Pujara, who sort of knows that the bowler has to totally grind to get him out. So
Yeah,
if he comes to the crease with an intent to score runs, I mean it makes it all the more difficult for the bowlers to get him out. And
yeah.
eventually, if he starts to score at a good pace, I mean, if he's say 20 of some 20-25 balls, I think that will give a huge boost of confidence to Pujara, and the bowlers will feel like I think we are. If Pujara gets to play and if he gets a good start, I think we can certainly say that he has a 100 coming in soon for him.
Absolutely, and also let us bring about the WTC Championship points table as well, because every game is so important from here on for India, because it's that percentage system again. I don't know why are we following that particular system, because it's just an odd system to follow, and India are third on the ranking with Pakistan losing to Australia in that Test series. It gives India that slight edge, and Australia will be coming to India then next year. And that's where I believe, someone like a Chiteshwar Pujara having great record against Nathan Lyon will come in handy. And also,
Yeah,
Shreyas Iyer has a terrific record against Nathan Lyon, considering whatever matches he has played in the warm up
yeah,
games at least. So it's going to be a tough call for Indian selectors to make, because it's also considering the future. Because I just felt at some point Indian selectors are looking towards the future. They want to look beyond someone like Ajinkya Rahane and Chiteshwar Pujara. Because Ajinkya Rahane had a horror show even in the
yeah,
Ranji Trophy, right? He did not have the best
yeah,
of
yeah.
it. He had a couple of knocks where he looked very good. He scored some
Good,
big
but
runs,
then
but
he
other than that,
he fizzled out.
but he fizzled out. Yeah, you could feel that in IPL as well. He's short of confidence. I also feel Ajinkya Rahane also should be going to the county championship. You never
Yeah,
know, because county championship is a different ball game altogether, because you are on your own over there. I've heard from a lot of players saying that county championship, the challenges what you get in England is totally different. Just not with the team, just not with your game, but off the field as well.
off the
You
field
have to
as
be
well.
on
Yeah,
your own. You have
definitely,
to,
rightly pointed out.
yeah, you have to drive on your own to the ground. So it mentally, it challenges you a lot more. That's where you grow as a cricketer as well. I recommend strongly all the test players who are not playing IPL to go there and play some games out there. I was quite surprised that Ishan Sharma did not go this season to play county championship. I really felt he should have also possibly gone,
Yeah,
because
it
he
was
just
really
played
sad
that.
to see that he sort of took a back foot in his career and he sort of decided to call it, I think, call it quits. Because if you are sort of promoting a brand in IPL and just sitting out of it and not getting the not even trying for the mentorship roles, so it
Yeah.
basically sort of says that Ishan Sharma is done with cricket for now.
Yeah, possibly, and you never know. He's played 100 Test matches. He's delivered for India, but
Yeah,
now with the kind of fast bowling depth India also has, I believe
it will be
you have
very
enough
difficult to
bowlers to
find a
replace
place
him.
for him in the team,
Yeah,
especially
definitely,
with no match practice.
truly, and it's going to be tough for Ishan Sharma.
But having said that, I feel that if Pujara plays, I think it will not be for Shreyas Iyer's slot. I think Hanuma Vihari will have to make way for Pujara. Taking nothing away
Interesting.
from Vihari, he has done nothing wrong, but he has also not played any of those innings of 100 or say a 50 high
But
scoring
meanwhile,
50.
Shreyas Iyer has. That's what goes to Shreyas Iyer's advantage. And Shreyas
Yeah,
Iyer is a player who can possibly turn the game for you as well, because he's got that X factor to play at a higher strike rate as well. I can just assume on a good given day, Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant batting in the middle order on a particular session can take the game away from you as well, because that's the strike rate at
definitely.
which he bats. Even in Ranji Trophy format, he had a strike rate close to 90 in one of the seasons. So that's the impact he brings. Let's see. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, because Shreyas Iyer made all the noise playing Ranji Trophy cricket. So he's a much more
Yeah,
specialized red ball player than the white ball player we know of from today.
yeah.
So I
And he's
really
a
feel,
very technically sorted player. The movements that he has been making, it's a very new thing that we are seeing Shreyas Iyer do. Because if you talk about Shreyas Iyer coming into the foray early on in his career, it was all because due to his technical gameplay. He was
yeah,
sort of playing like Virat Kohli, flicking the ball for sixes, not
yeah,
trying to hit the ball too hard, just
right,
playing the ball with good timing, timing the ball
mm,
well. It was very
mm,
good to see him bat early on.
right,
It's very good to see him bat right now as well. Very charismatic, but I think he takes a lot more risks playing in the white ball format. But for the red ball format, I think for the domestic side or in the Ranji trophies as well, he will adopt certainly a bit more conservative approach. We will not see
absolutely,
those shuffles. We will not see those hooks and pulls trying to
right,
take on the short bowling. I think he'll just duck it in England. And I think
absolutely.
he's a perfect player to have. So Pujara and Shreyas Iyer at number 3 and number 5 for me.
Very interesting, and I'll also stick to that. But I'll feel very bad for Vihari because he's been scapegoat way too many times for the Indian team because he's done nothing wrong. But that's how this game is, and that's how the talent pool in India is also. Thank you, Sanibani, for joining. I hope you all enjoyed the discussion, and do comment what is your ideal starting 11 for India for that one solitary test against England in July. So do comment that starting 11. Will be very interesting to see how many of you have Pujara in the lineup and how many of you will have Vihari as number three. I certainly call up Pujara at number three, and also when Sandipani agrees to that. And I also want Shreyas Iyer at number four, number five, and also he also
You
wants
want
Shreyas Iyer at
Shreyas
number
Iyer
five.
in place of Kohli?
Maybe that's a future. Maybe that's a future.
Yeah,
You
we
never know.
never know.
You never know. Maybe that's the future as well. But as of now, that is what it is. Do like and subscribe to our channel as well, so that we can bring some exciting podcast and podcast for you all. So that and we'll keep you entertained as well with a lot more debating topics. Today's topic was pretty much not like a debate. It was more of both of us agreeing to the fact that Pujara needs a call up, especially for that one test against England. Have a good time, guys. Play our fantasy contest with Boomer11 because this test championship era, you can win lot of points, and also you can win big with Boomer11, and also play your IPL contest as well, so that you can play for free and win absolutely free, of course. So you are absolutely losing zero cash, and we are the only fantasy platform to provide that. So thank you and have a nice day.